Alright, ladies and gents, today we're going to solve rational equations, focusing on proportions. But first I want you to practice these 4 warm-up problems because we're going to have to multiply binomials, which will give us quadratics, which will mean we'll have to factor to get our solutions. Alright, but these are the easy ones because as you can see, every x is a leading coefficient of 1. So that's super easy, just like it is to factor when a is 1. Okay? So you already know the first term is going to be x squared because x times x is x squared. The middle term is both of the numbers multiplied or added together. So the middle term is addition. So if I have negative 3 and 1, that'll give me negative 2. But the middle term, since this is standard form, the middle term must have x. And then the last term is just the two numbers multiplied together. So 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. That's it. Okay? So x times x is x squared. Negative 5 plus 7 is positive 2. Since it's your middle term, has an x. And then negative 5 times 7 is negative 35. All right, so I'll do it the long way so you can see x times x. If you want to do your distribution, right? X times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. And then distribute the negative 12. Negative 12 times x is negative 12x. And then negative 12 times negative 2 is 24. Excuse me. And then, of course, add your like terms. So that's x squared minus 14x plus 24. Okay? So, like I said again, you could have just done it faster because this is 1, this is 1. So, x times x is x squared. Add the numbers together. Negative 12 plus negative 2 is negative 14. Middle term gets x. Then negative 12 times negative 2 is positive 24. All right, let's do it fast again. X squared, add them together, 13x. Multiply them together, gives you 36. Okay, that's it. Now, remember, this only works, this shortcut only works when a equals 1 for both binomials and of course standard form is always ax squared plus bx plus c, so you should have 3 terms. Okay, so let's get into the real lesson now. Proportions. This is a video, so you could pause at any time. Proportions is just like this. So basically what we have is a over b equals c over d. So since you have a fraction equals a fraction, okay, since you have a fraction equals a fraction, you just cross multiply. So you would have, or butterfly, whatever you want to call it, c times b or bc equals the other one, cross multiply, a times d, and then you just solve it from there. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do right now, but with this example. So I wish I had my highlighters, but I don't. So anyways, I'm gonna cross multiply, right? So we'll do, it doesn't matter which one you do, we'll do these two here. So 9 times x plus 1. I'm just gonna write it out. You know, some of you can skip that step and just do it in your head. Note sakes, we're just gonna write it out. And then this part over here would be 3 times 4x plus 5. And of course the equal sign stays in the middle. Okay, so you just start solving, simplifying, and then solve what you got. So 9x plus 9 equals 12x plus 15. Okay, so you have a linear function, put your x on one side, put your numbers on the other. It's best in this case to move the x to the bigger one, so that cancels out. Okay, and then I would move the 15 to the other side, minus 15 here. All right, so then we have, what do we have? Negative 6 equals 3x. Okay, so then divide that. So then we have negative 2 equals x. Okay. So something I forgot to mention. This is your solution, but you always want to check. Okay. So plug it in and check. But also, if that was my original problem, I'll just rewrite the original problem. Kind of like we talked about with our graphs. We have removable discontinuities, we have asymptotes. And when we're dealing with the rational function, you can never divide by 0, okay? So if we look at the denominators, what's going to make these denominators 0? Those would be our excluded values, okay? If your solution comes out to one of your excluded values, then you have no solution, and that is basically all you have to do. But in this case, what would make this 0? Well, the opposite. So x cannot equal negative 1. That's an excluded value. And in this case, a little bit harder, but think about minus 5 divided by 4. So x does not equal negative 5 over 4. If your solution matches the excluded values, then you have no solution. But in this case, negative 2 does not equal negative 1 or negative 5/4. So negative 2 is your solution. Okay, so usually we would like to do this first. I'll do it first on the next one. Okay, all right, let's see. So let's do an easy one here. Let's do, oops, example, sorry, I don't like using this. 4 over x plus 1 equals x minus 1 over x plus 5. All right, so if we are talking about excluded values, automatically x cannot equal negative 1 because that's the bottom, and then x cannot equal negative 5. Okay, those would be basically our no solutions if it happens. All right, so then let's cross multiply. Now here times here, we have x plus 1 times x minus 1. Then we have on the other side 4 times x plus 5. Equal signs in the middle. Okay, so then start solving those out. This is just like our warm-up. This is what I was talking about. X squared, add them together, we get no x for once, and then multiply them together, we get negative 1. Then on the other side, just multiply by 4. 4x plus 20. Now you have a quadratic. Hello, what do we do with quadratics? We have a quadratic, so make it equal 0 so you can factor. So that'll be x squared. We have to minus the 4x. And then we have to minus 20, so that'll be negative 21 equals 0. Why do we do that? So we can factor. Okay? So factors of 21 that give you 4. 7, -7, and +3. So that means our solutions are going to be +7 or -3. Now, did those solutions match our excluded values? No. +7's not up there, +3's not there. So both of these should be good to go. And you could also check to double check, okay? But that's what we had to do. All right, so one more. Let me see. Let's do this one. All right, last one. Do 3 over x plus 2 equals x minus 3 over 2x plus 4. Okay? So, what are your excluded values? What can x not be? Okay, we'll look at the bottom. So, x cannot equal -2. And then x cannot equal, this would be -4 over 2. Sorry. -4 over 2, which simplifies to -2. Okay, so x can't be -2 either way. So hopefully we don't get that. All right, so multiply this way. And then multiply that way. All right, so boom, again, warm-up problem. X squared minus x minus 6 equals, multiply here, 6x plus 12. What do you have? You have a quadratic. That means make it equal 0. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to subtract the 6x. We're going to subtract the 12. So, all right, so factors of -18 that give you -7. So that would be -9 and +2. So then x equals 9, x equals -2. Well, lo and behold, we have -2 here, and we have -2 up here. So that is an excluded value, and then 9 is your solution. All right, so that's why we check the excluded values. All right, that's it.